is this for you guys, taking down the number one team in the league, and what does this just mean for the confidence that you guys have been able to, finally close out a game?
Yeah, I think for us, I think we've let a lot of games slip out of our hands throughout the season. This one meant a lot to us because we were on our home court tonight, and we saw them a couple days ago, and we let that one slip away. And we also learned to ourselves we can't let anything else other than ourselves take us out of the game. Officials, play calls, turnovers, like we have to stay zoned in and locked in. And I think we were super locked in today, and everybody just came in and just balled. Everybody guarded their matchup. Everybody made changes if we needed to make changes. If we missed a shot, we didn't get down on ourselves. We got back on defense. So it was just fun. Like everybody just had a lot of fun tonight.
Brian,
question for either of you. You guys played some really beautiful basketball in that first half. What did you guys see that just was clicking for you?
Honestly, I really felt like our defense fueled our offense, and then on offense we were moving the ball. I feel like I would like to know how many possessions in that first half everybody kind of got a touch on the ball, and everybody was aggressive too.
We'll go to the front row. Then we'll go to Andy.
Hey guys, can you tell us a little bit about what the game plan was and how you guys executed it?
We played them in 2 days.
We played them 2 days ago. We played them another 2 days. So it's kind of, I guess you either come out and you show up or you don't. And I think the first time we had them and we let officials, we let other things get in the way of why we didn't win that game. But I told them, I was like, we're not gonna let the officials get a hands in this game. I told them at the 3 minutes, I was like, we're not gonna let this come down to that. And I think a lot of games this year we let it come down to that, and that's on us. It's not on them, it's on us. And I think we just came out and fought tonight. We didn't let our foot off the pedal, and I'm just really proud of this team. We really locked in and zoned in tonight.
We'll go to Andy, second row, your right.
Ariel, I'll start with you. 27 points tonight. You shot 8 of 10 in the first half, especially early on. How were you able to find so much space, especially in the mid-range area?
Honestly, mid-range is what I love to do the most, to be honest with you. But above all, I got to be aggressive. That's how we get going. And if I be more aggressive throughout the game, I know it opens up things for my teammates. So I was just trying to honestly keep my foot on the gas early on. And I was hitting them.
Go to Christian, front row on your left.
Christian One-Sider, Angel, you talk all the time about how just talented Nafisa is, but you seem to really like that matchup against Nafisa, especially in the first half. What were you seeing there, and were you surprised you were just so comfortable against her?
Yeah, she's one of the best. I mean, I love playing one of the best players, and you see how you match up with the best. She worked with me all off season. Her and Alex, her husband, worked with me all off season on my game, and kudos to them because they helped me a lot. Just staying poised, staying patient. That's why I trust in my work. Being able to go down rival and being able to have them in my corner. Still to this day, Alex texts me all the time. So I'm just super. I'm really happy that I'm able to guard and be able to play against somebody that really challenges me. And I really don't like somebody to get the best of me. She plays well, and I can't take a play off, and that's just a player that I love to play all the time.
Go to Nancy, front row on your left.
Angel, this is I think 7 games that you've had a double-double. You're shooting over 50%. What has been the difference for you, and can you feel it when you're in a groove like this? And how do you just keep that running?
I just trust my work. I put the work in every single day, and I can't get down on myself when I'm missing shots. Even some shots I missed today, that corner three, that's something I work on all the time, and missed it tonight, airballed it. But like just being able to feel comfortable. The first quarter, I just felt really comfortable. Those are shots that I take in practice all the time. So when I had teammates that really put a lot of confidence in me to take shots that sometimes I wasn't comfortable taking before, it makes my job easier. And I know like when I'm efficient and when I can do things on the court, offensively and defensively, it really helps the team get a win.
Go to front row on your right.
Can you talk a little bit about the contributions of Camilla? The big block at the end, the 6 offensive rebounds.
Big Mill, not the little one. I mean, she big 6'7" shit. You can't teach that. We took it personal earlier on in the league, me and Mill, earlier on in the season where people didn't think we were the best young core in the league, and we stood on that. We stand on that. It speaks for itself, and we're young, and we're still not polished to where we want to be yet, and we're raw right now. But I'm really happy to see where we are. We grinded both in our off season and put our heads down and continue to work, but Mill comes up quietly, loudly, and she smiles the whole entire time. Through the block, through the anger, she's always smiling. So it's always great to have her on the team, and we're happy to have her back.
Go to the second row on your right.
In the you saw early part of the season, there were struggles in second halves of games, and now it seems like when you guys come out of halftime, there's been a different focus and a shift. What has changed now in this later part of the season where you guys now are really coming out a lot more stronger in the second half and able to finish teams off?
It's something we've been intentional about. We've been talking to each other about it. Coming out of the half, we're making sure that we're getting out, we're making sure we're warming up, staying locked into each other. But I think our intentionality has changed a lot. We know that we can't come out and just come out. To be honest with you, people have been stepping on us at the top of the third, so we're trying to make sure we return that favor.
Good as that free front row in the end.
Angel, toward the end of the game, you and Ariel had a very passionate embrace, and then you got the crowd into it, waving your hands. Did that moment sort of crystallize in you that you were about to win this game, pretty much?
No, not really. I was just super excited. My emotions get really high. And I was really pumped for Ariel because there's a lot of chatter and talk. She's washed, she this, she that. And she comes out every night and just puts her head down and grind. Tough buckets tonight on offensively and defensively. And she don't say a word. She never speaks up. She don't say much, but I'm always super excited for her. And she's always been there for me and been a great big sister to me and just a great teammate and somebody that you always want to have around in the locker room. So tip my hat off to her because she was cooking.
You have Brian and Alyssa.
Today, Rachel Manham, 3 threes. She had, I want to say, 12 points. Can you just talk a little bit about that? She's been pretty efficient the last couple of games, so can you talk about her contribution to the team?
Yeah, when Rachel's aggressive, we're a better team, point blank period. I think her shooting ability, obviously on her scout, she's a sniper, no question. So making sure that she's getting those shots up. But I think her being aggressive off the rip is really good for our team. And I think she's taking that to heart too. People have been backing up off her, which is insane. So Rachel's doing what Rachel does.
We go to Brian and Alyssa.
Angel, pregame, you had a moment with a little fan. I just wanted to get your thoughts on just what those moments mean to you.
Yeah, it means everything. Being able to see the young girls out here just coming out in full costume with a Reese's cup and the halo in their head. Those are just the little girls I do it for. I think just being an inspiration for young kids that they can do the same things you can put your mind to. I didn't go to many WNBA games growing up. I went to a few. My mom was really close with Taj Williams. I played for the Lynx, so I went to a couple Lynx games, but they want to be able to see it. If they see it, they can believe it, they can be it. And I think that's just super inspirational for these young kids these days. They're keeping them out of trouble, knowing that there's the right path that you can take, and hopefully we are inspiration to them that they can do it.
We'll close out with Carly, then Alyssa.
Ariel, can you just talk about the growth in spacing that's happened over the last 4 to 5 games that's allowed more facilitation from you guys into the bigs and the bigs kickouts to you guys in the guard group?
Yeah, I think a big part of it is, obviously we've talked about it in practice, but I think our intention to what we're doing right now is very focal. Like, we're really locked in on what we're trying to get. And honestly, a big part of that too is us making shots down. So we're not creeping up trying to get the ball, or nobody's unsure of what they're trying to do. We know what we're trying to do. We're locked into the scout, making the right reads, and trusting each other, but also trusting in ourselves.
We'll close out with Alyssa, then we'll go to Zoom.
Ariel, remember how you talked about like the difference between hooping and playing basketball, and then you
Sure.
feel like you feel like it looked like that's what was happening today, and I'm just curious how it feels.
I felt like at first quarter, I felt like I was at the blacktop. I just felt like I was coming down. Woo, woo, woo.
It was crazy.
I was like, I'm at the blacktop right now. I feel like I'm in Baltimore.
It's crazy.
But you was hitting some shots, and one time you hit a shot, you was like, damn. Like,
Yeah, it's crazy. It was the shot one.
I was like, wow.
I don't know if that answered your question.
We got time for one on Zoom. We'll go to Julian. Please unmute. One question, please.
And this was for Ariel. I hope it's not too left field. I know you said that you do a lot of your damage from the mid-range, but I was just looking into the long distance range across the league, and you're among the top 10 in average distance of three-pointers. It's like 25.1, something like that.
Damn.
And
Maybe you shoot from a logo.
but when you came to the league, I think it was like 24, so now you're taking them like a whole foot further away. I was wondering if that was something that's intentional, and what you see as your own sort of evolution as a shooter, and then league-wide, people just taking them further away.
Yeah, I mean, I think basketball as a whole, you're just seeing a bunch of threes, honestly. But I think just personally, the way that I'm being guarded, I think if I can have more space and being able to knock that down, it gives our jobbers more opportunity to attack, and it gives people more space to honestly get into the lane. And I'm there, my feet set, honestly, is going to go up. I don't get a lot of open shots. So
Is that because are you saying because the bigs don't switch screens?
No, I'm saying I don't get a lot of open shots.
No, she tried to shade it.
Not in public. I wouldn't do that. But yeah, no, I think I don't get a lot of open shots. So I try to keep the space in, and when my feet are set, I gotta take it up. I don't necessarily know where I'm at all the time. But if it's open, it's gotta go up.
Those 2 feet here, I know
It's going up.
Thanks everyone, Coach will be next.
Thanks, dude.
Coach, how much of a statement win is this, not just for the team, but for you as well in your first year as head coach?
Yeah, it's a big one. I think it's for us to be able to hold on to the lead that we established early in the first half, and took some shots in the second half, especially in that third quarter when it could have really unraveled, and we were able to to show some resolve there and bounce back. And we had a great defensive effort in that fourth quarter, so I'm extremely proud of this team.
We'll go to Isabel, second on your left.
Hi, Coach. Isabel Gonzalez, CBS Sports. There was a moment in the first half where Camilla was under the basket and she was, really fighting to get the ball. She finally got that rebound and the layup, and Angel Reese was just standing right there with her arms up, celebrating her. So I'm wondering, how often do you see moments like that from Angel, and what's your relationship like with her teammates when we don't see them on the court?
And that's our team. I think that's a large reason to why we've continued to show the fight that we have now, because we're a unit in that locker room, and we kind of tune out what the outside has to say for us because we know what we have inside. And it's just a matter of time until we're turning things around. And so, but they're connected, they're together. They celebrate each other's success. They play with joy, and that's what we want, and that's what we want consistently. And so, to be able to do that tonight against the best team in the league, it's huge for us.
Go to Brian, then Andy, then Mike.
Coach, in the first half, I thought you guys played like some of the best basketball I've seen this season. What was just your thoughts and just what was working well?
Yeah, it was clicking. I think that our offense was moving pretty well. We were able to create some balance with how we wanted to play on the perimeter, but then also initiating it inside as well. I thought Angel Mill really set the tone early. Angel was aggressive, and I've said it before when she's aggressive, and
we're a better basketball team because of it. And so, I think that, and also defensively, it was we came in locked into the game plan, and we didn't let up. And I thought that it was a really good effort from us on both ends of the floor, especially in the first half.
Hey, Coach, the Lynx scored 81 points. A lot of times that could be enough to win a game in this league, but your offense outpaced them the entire time, even when they were trying to make a comeback attempt. When it comes to the pace of play that you emphasize, is this really the vision that you were trying to sell people on, and how good this offense can be and how it can outpace opponents?
Yeah, I think pace is different for different coaches and different teams. I think for us, it's we definitely want to take advantage of opportunities in transition, but it's more so the pace of which we play within the half court. We want to cut hard. We want to sprint into screens. We want to sprint out of screens. We want the ball to move. And so for us, it's more of an emphasis on the pace once we've crossed half court as opposed to just racing it up. Because we do play a different style than most teams around the league in terms of having the two traditional post players. Well, Angel's somewhat traditional, I guess. But yeah, I guess with two bigs that don't necessarily stretch the floor, But I think they are developing more and more chemistry playing off of each other and how to space the floor when the other has the advantage inside, and just find different areas to be effective. And so, but yeah, I thought tonight did more often than not we played at the pace that we want to.
Go to Mike, Erica, then Mia.
Coach, you're going to see this team 2 more times in the next 10 days. Of course, you get the win here. Does the preparation change for any of these future meetings? Have you learned anything that you may change up going into Minnesota?
I think we take it from a game-to-game basis. I think that we try to make some adjustments from the last time we played them, even though we played them pretty well in Minnesota the first game. We didn't want to change too much, but there were some areas that we wanted to adjust to, and I'm assuming that it'll be the same once we watch the film from tonight. But yeah, I think that there's a lot of good to take from today, and then some areas that we got to clean up. The 19 turnovers are still a little bit too much for us, and where we would like it to be. But again, overall, I thought our defensive effort was really what carried us tonight.
Similarly, but specific to something that you said yesterday regarding maybe getting some of the guards involved and at least giving the team opportunities to collect defensive rebounds. What did you see tonight? How do you think the team responded to that specific aspect?
I thought Michaela was huge on the glass for us today. Rachel and Ariel, I think, pulled down for each. But I thought Michaela was big for us outside of Camilla and Angel. But yeah, it's an all-out effort, and Minnesota puts you in some predicaments at times because of the way that they're able to space the floor. So rebounds are long sometimes because of the amount of threes that they shoot, and so you got to make sure that you got to find a body before you can get out and run on the offensive end. And so, I thought collectively it was a good effort. We won the rebounding war pretty handily today, and but we want that to be a staple of our team from a defensive and an offensive standpoint.
In the third quarter, you mentioned how it could have gone a very different way. It's been a problem in the past, but you guys, were more resilient coming out of that third quarter. I was wondering, what did you see that's different from this team recently? Because the third quarter hasn't been as much of a problem. And who's a leading voice coming out of that third quarter when you guys might be feeling a little bit down?
I think we have several of them. I think on the floor, Angel's certainly a big voice to that, as well as Rachel. I think that on the bench, Mariah continues to be a huge voice even when she's not playing. But we got veteran leadership on that bench too. Kia's extremely involved. And then we have a great staff that continues to motivate from the bench as well. And so it's a complete. When I say team win, it's not just for the players that got minutes. It extends all the way to the end of the bench as well, and through our staff. And so I think tonight, again, I think to answer your question directly, we just make up in our minds that we're not letting one mistake turn into two, turn into three. And earlier in the season, that would have been the case a lot of the time. We would have been unraveling a little bit, but I think that focus and being able to stay in the moment and have a next play mentality has been kind of where the shift has kind of come over the last several games.
Got time for a few more. We'll go to Christian, Zachary, and Brian.
Christian, one-sider. Coach, you seemed like you had a real strategic flow to how you utilized minutes where it was Angel and Ewell and then Angel and Camilla. What were you kind of seeing there, and how have you kind of developed those lineups over the time? Because it seems like it's really working and flowing now.
Yeah, a lot of it is off of feel. I think that while Camilla was out, Angel and Elizabeth really established a pretty good connection. But before Camilla went out, then Camilla and Angel established a really good connection. And so we felt pretty good with how we wanted to rotate those three. It was just a matter of how we rotated everyone else within it. And Minnesota, they threw a big lineup at us, so we had to stay big at times, big a little bit longer than maybe we wanted to. But again, it's a game by game basis. You adjust as the game goes, and I think that at times you stray away from set rotations just because you never know how the game is going to go with the flow of it, and you just adjust to what you're seeing in front of you. So that's what we did tonight. That's what we've been doing the last few games.
Zachary, then Brian.
Hey, Coach, not just with the win today, but given how you all have been playing these last 4 or 5 games, does that show the potential that this team has to be able to come out on top when everything is clicking together?
Yeah, for sure. I think that it was a huge boost for us in terms of just being able to, again, hold on to the lead and to come out on the right side of it against a championship caliber team. And I think that that's the mindset that we know that we've had, but it always feels better when you can kind of see it matriculate out in front of you. And so I think it's huge moving forward. At the end of the day, we still got to come back on Monday and do it again. It's not that we can't be complacent on what we did today. I think part of being a good team and establishing that culture is being able to replicate when you have nights like this consecutively. And so we're going to give everything that we got. We adjust when necessary and hopefully put forth the same type of effort on Monday.
Brian.
Coach, you spoke about Minnesota and the big lineups. In the first half, there were some minutes there with Camilla and also Will on defense. Can you just kind of speak to what you saw there with their defensive activity?
Yeah, they haven't played together a whole lot this year, but it was an opportunity when Minnesota went big to kind of experiment with that and to spell some minutes for Angel to get her a little bit of rest here and there. I thought they did a decent job. I think that I'm not sure how much of that we'll see over the course of the season, but there will be opportunities based upon matchups where we'll be able to kind of see a little bit more of what that looks like. And then we just got to figure out, the offensive and defensive side of it when we do match up with them.
Last question, we'll go from here.
Yeah, Coach, I wanted to find out, what lessons did you glean from last week's loss, and what were you able to specifically implement in this game, so especially down the stretch?
I think it's what we showed in the third quarter. I think, again, with a team like Minnesota, you can't. I spoke, before the game about how we jumped on them pretty good in the first quarter last game, and then let it all kind of go to waste in that second quarter. And for us to be able to put together a first half like we did tonight, it allows you to kind of absorb a little bit of the runs that they were able to go on for the rest of the game without putting you in too much of a hole. And so, again, I think that attention to detail, that being able to kind of fix things in the moment as it was going and not get too down on ourselves or just staying locked into it, I think that that kind of carried us today, and that was the biggest adjustment from the player standpoint.
Thanks, everyone.
Thanks, Coach. Thanks, Coach.